Welcome back. So today we're going to be talking about how to make this nicely parallaxing background for our menu scene. So let's jump right in. Okay, hello everybody, welcome back. So we're going to take a second away from our refactor just to explain something I did to the GitHub version of the project to make it just look a little more polished and, fun to work with. So in the GitHub version of the project, on this menu screen, I have this scrolling background, and I actually have it set up so that it parallaxes, meaning that things in the farther background move more slowly than things in the closer background, which is how your eye sees things. Imagine if you're driving down the road and you look out the window, anything that's right next to your car appears to be moving very, very fast. Things relatively far away from your car move slower than that, and things in the far, far background, the far distance from your car, appear to be moving even more slowly. And that has to do with the way that we see things. Even though all of those things are moving, or you're moving the same speed relative to all of those things, they appear to be moving at different speeds, and that's an effect known as parallax. Now, Godot has a parallax layer already set up. However, the parallax layer only works if you have a Camera2D node, and that Camera2D node is moving. So even if you have a Camera2D node in your scene, your background won't parallax unless that Camera2D node is moving. So we have to kind of trick it into acting like it's a parallax background. Now, it's been pointed out on my Discord that GameMaker Studio 2 will do this without needing to do any fiddling to it, which is very true. However, the amount of fiddling that we need to do is actually much less fiddling than you'd think there would be. So in our, in our art folder here, I'm going to add some new things to it. Did I put it in the UI or did I put it in the other thing? Okay, so I'm just going to add this to the main folder here, and right now I only have the actual full background I'm going to have scrolling. I'm going to actually add this as elements. So hold on just one second and I'll be right back. Okay, we're back. So if you go to the itch.io link for the assets, you'll find new things added to the UI folder. And those new things are Parallax Background Mid, and Parallax Background Foreground. So in order to make this work, what we're going to do here is in our game menu, we're going to add a new child node. And I'm just going to make this be a node 2D. And I'm going to call this background element. And we're going to add to this a script. So let's make a new script here. We'll call this background element, but then we'll make sure we're putting it in our scripts folder here. Let's create that. Now, what I want to do is I want to define a speed that I want for it to have, and I'm going to define a left limit, and I'll explain what these things do. So I'll make these both exports. So export int var speed and export int var left limit. You can make this a right limit if you want to make it look as if things are going left to right. I just like it going right to left for some reason. I just think it looks cool that way. But you can make this a right limit. So in our process delta, what we're going to do is take our current position and add to it speed times delta, where delta is the amount of time that has passed between this frame and the frame that came before. That way it'll appear to move at the same speed no matter what the frame rate of device you're working on. And then we're going to say if position is less than or equal to left limit, we're going to reset position equal to 0. Position dot x is equal to 0. So we're going to reset the x position if our position dot x is less than or equal to the left limit. And we want to do this as just position dot x as well, because we only want to move it in the one direction. If you want to make it so that it's moving up and down, you can change these from .x to .y. Alright, so if I jump back here, I'm going to add a couple different children nodes to this. They're both going to be texture recs. And I'm just going to duplicate this. And they're both going to have the same texture for them. So I'm going to select two of them, and I'm going to have this be the farthest background. Now the second one, I'm going to put off from the other one. So they're going to be stacked like this. But let's actually set that correctly. So our margin is going to be 576, 0. Is that right? I'm 90% certain that's right, but we'll find out in just a moment. Now our background element here is going to have a speed of, let's say, -75, and we'll give it a left limit of -576. Now it's not going to look like it's moving because there's nothing to reference this against. So if I hit play here, it should just look like a solid thing with no changes. But I'm going to duplicate this element. So right click and choose duplicate, and this is going to be my midground element. And for my midground, I'm going to give this the clouds. So I'll grab both those texture recs and give them the clouds. And then lastly, I'm going to duplicate this again, and I'm going to call this the foreground element. And these two texture recs are going to get the rolling hills. So I want to make sure that these two, the midground, I'm going to leave that at -75, and I'll make the foreground faster. So we'll make this -100, let's say. Now if we play this, we should be able to see them parallaxing. You'll see how the foreground is moving at a different speed than the background. It makes this kind of nice effect. If you wanted to amplify the effect, we could either speed up the foreground or slow down the midground. I'm going to slow down the midground. Let's make this -50. And I just want to watch to make sure that it's going to go through one full thing without having a weird seam in it. And there we go. Got this kind of nice effect here. Alright, so that's pretty good. That was pretty easy. We're still going to do some refactoring. I'll have a video out tomorrow. I know I'm behind at my videos for this week, but there'll be another video out tomorrow. We're going to talk some more about refactoring, getting everything working. We're going to start talking about the boosters again. So yeah, if you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments down below. You can follow me on Twitter to find out when I post new videos. Join my Discord where there's tons of just really excellent people. Yeah. Otherwise, I hope everybody out there has themselves a wonderful day.